So again, although we are talking about, 24,000 or 18,000 or 10,000, we still need to keep in mind that part of those transportation costs, the district does get back. Okay, and that, certainly that would also be something to take into consideration if we tried to do something on our own where perhaps those costs might not be reimbursed to us, but just want to make sure everybody's aware of the fact that
It wouldn't be reimbursed if you did if you owned the buses?
No, the cost there,
Maybe not.
I don't know how much you want to get into.
I just don't know.
This whole thing, but
we don't, but I just think it's something to keep
Okay.
in mind, that we
Yeah.
do know right now part of our transportation costs are reimbursed to us.
Okay.
Not 100%, but
Right.
at least a portion of it is, so, okay. So just
Right.
look into some additional
all I
options,
asked last
prior to the
Didn't
start of
make a big deal.
the school year.
okay. Next item is early childhood special education program recommendations. What I'm recommending to the board is that we house a self-contained early childhood special ed program at the elementary school next year. There's I've given a lot of information to the board already, so I'm not going to continue on about this unless there are board questions. But we are requesting board approval for that this evening for a number of reasons. One, placement decisions need to be made relatively quickly, and also this affects other districts as well. If we're going to house this program, they would like to know. And I do think it's a good recommendation that it would make perfect sense given where we are right now.
I had a question I forgot to ask. The LADSI ESCFE package, the $25,959, what is that? Is that their teacher?
Before you answer, Karen, can you just,
On
the
the,
board go to the same page? So
Cost
are we
sheets.
on the direct and indirect costs?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Kelly, do you want to, she knows the details, but Kelly Balava, who those you haven't met, our Director of Special Ed, I asked her to be here for questions like this, so.
The LADSI ECSE package includes the related services that would be providing services to the kids in the classroom. So it includes a speech pathologist, occupational therapist, physical therapist, psychologist, social worker, all specialized in working with that classroom.
But
So-
how do you know what that's going to be if you don't know what your needs are? Or
Because-
it's just assumed that
No,
it's-
well, in order for LADSI to project how many staff that they need to provide services to all of the early childhood programs throughout all of the districts, I say we because I've worked with LADSI for many years, so there is a set package amount based on the fact that most sections historically fill. So we know an early childhood special education classroom is going to have up to 10 kids. So we know based on years and years of history how much speech time is needed in those classrooms, how much OT time, how much PT time, social work, etc. So that is a set amount based on knowledge of where those classrooms start and end.
Okay, and so then the reimbursement is where it's more specific to the child, because then so it's based on their needs. So we might, that would be 25,000, but we might be able to recoup it depending on.
Right.
Okay. Then one other quick one. The teacher's salary and benefits, are the teachers, do they need special certification?
No, and we would be using one of our teachers who has taught self-contained in the past for several years.
But yes, they do need a
They do,
certification to be
yes.
it's a special ed preschool certification.
You don't have to hire anybody.
No,
special.
no, we have the staff available.
Yes.
I had a couple questions.
Yes, those were, yeah, thanks.
I had a couple questions. I was looking at, let me see if I can find it, the numbers of how many classrooms there currently are. It's on this page that says May 13th at the top, response to BOE questions. And currently there's 28 sections. Is that correct? I think I asked Mark today, I sent you an email, you said, and there's 212 kids that need services. So if there's 28 sections, correct my math if I'm wrong, and each class right now is filled to capacity, that's 280 kids. So only 212 need services. Okay,
No.
so that's where I'm very confused.
Right, no, the 212 figure, those are the amount of children that just this year were found eligible,
New children.
new children.
Okay, that's what I didn't understand. And how many do we have remaining then? Do you recall?
In our district?
Like that still-
Co-op. I mean, co-op wide, there's a combined approximately 45 sections, whether it's self-contained or blended. Co-op wide, we are at capacity. So they are at least 450 students with other students waiting for placements.
Okay. I wasn't clear on that then.
Yeah.
Thank you. I just had one more question. Well, maybe, I don't know if that's one more. On the math sheet again, and we talk about the transportation costs. Okay, so that's what we currently pay. But if these children, if we have this program in our district, we're still going to pay the transportation costs because they still need transportation to and from school, correct?
Let me just make that clear to you, is that the transportation, our kids would not need transportation because we provide buses, all right? So in our district, you shaking your head.
No. The early childhood kids all receive specialized transportation through LADSI if they require transportation.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the ones that,
No, I'm talking about these because my daughter, I know
Oh.
she
Right, right.
got the
I didn't understand
transportation.
your question.
Right, no.
Okay, so we would still pay that, correct? I mean, that's,
Well, it depends. This is based on students right now.
Okay.
It's really a parent choice. If our own students were going to school in our district, it's very likely that their parents would choose to transport them. Now, they still are offered transportation because it's part of, them being eligible based on their disability. But they may or may not choose to use that because right now these kids are being transported several districts over. So that, lends to why they're using the transportation at this time.
okay.
Is the transportation adjusted for the distance they'd be traveling?
No, it's the same,
flat.
depending on, anywhere in the co-op, it's the same rate.
And is it a flat fee? Because, I know that I drove my daughter a lot, but we still had the bus, I would call the bus driver and we don't need you today, or what, you know what I mean?
It's still a flat fee.
So you're still paying for the bus, whether the parent drives the child or not, you're still paying for it?
Correct. And if
Okay.
we were to take any out-of-district students, we do not, that transportation bill is sent directly to that child's homeschool district. That
Right.
does not even come to us.
Well, it just, I don't know, in my calculations, it seemed like would be running at a loss. Did you find that program to be running at, if we did this?
Well, these are estimates, and if you look at direct costs, we would expect that the direct cost of this would be $91,644. The revenue that we would take in based on 8 out of district would be estimated to be $73,312. So then the net cost to us would be the difference between $91,000 and $73,000, so less than $20,000. If you look down at the bottom where we have the costs that we currently pay now for 2 students that go out of district, that total amount is $30,000. So in all likelihood that we will be spending less money than we are now if we would house this program in district.
We'd save 10,000.
Gina, why did you
But I
see
think,
it as-
Gina, I think what
why did you
Gina's-
see it as a loss, though?
I mean-
From your perception.
I'm just saying that the revenues that we would get in, so what I did was, the calculation was, I did 73,000, and then I took the 2 students, say we had the 2 next year, and I did their tuition costs, so I added that to the 73, okay? I didn't do their transportation because we still have to pay that. So 73 plus 21 is 94, and I guess I was basing it on the 105,000. Because it says total expenses, 105,000. That's what it says on here. So I was taking the, what?
Including the indirect.
We would still have those fees though, correct?
Right, but see, this is where, this goes back to like 4 or 5 years worth of direct and indirect. We always ask for the indirect because we want to have an idea.
Okay.
But the reality is, when you look at those positions
Okay.
and those expenses, okay, if we did not house this program, they would still exist. Instead of being divided by that extra classroom or 2, if you will, we still have a nurse, we still have a secretary, we still have administration, we still pay for water, electric, gas, and cleaning.
Okay.
So we did that, we asked for that many, many moons ago, just because we wanted to show what a true cost would be. And then, yes, since we asked for that, and this is again going back 5, 6, 7 years